Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show here on the Stream TV. I am your host, Bryan, and of course I am joined by my amazing co-host, Sarah, Daniel. Guys, thank you again for joining us. It was a great episode. We are quickly approaching the end of this season.
Oh my God, with a fury.
Yeah. And it's getting pretty violent.
That's a nice way to put it.
But before we jump into this, what did you guys think of the episode? Daniel.
Okay, well, we had action. We got some good story. And then the interaction between particular characters, I'm just going to say it, well, Mac and Daisy. Oh, hurt. She went straight for the feels and was like, this is your heart, you don't need it anymore. Like, she hurt him bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that character development, the interaction between the two was great. It's something that we usually, well, we don't get to really see on the show, so I loved it.
Sarah?
Yeah, okay. So for me, I'm gonna just, I know. So I'm like, where do I even start with this episode? Because so much it was just amazing, and they're just going for the jugular. This is gonna end, I think, in the most incredible way. But for me, the big standout this episode was Agent May. She wasn't like holding any punches. She was like down to business, and she could have killed Daisy, but didn't, because, you know, even though we're all kind of like, she's the bad guy. Yeah, as much as, you know, Mac pointed out to her, hey, you showed us your face. Somewhere in you, you know, still wants to be with us. You want us to save you. And she's like, no, fuck you. I'm just, sorry. No. No, forget you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, May then shoots her in the shoulder instead of the head, because that would have been an easy shot, and she doesn't miss.
Exactly. That's very
No,
true.
I agree. I think they've upped the game a lot. One of the things I liked with Daisy is something they've been showing us with all the Inhumans is Daisy's skill with her abilities. She was using it as like her quake power as like an exaggerated boxing glove, or like her kick was empowered by her abilities. And I thought, again, they're showing us more creativity with how the powers are being used, and that's something I love. So much to talk about this episode. We're going to get into it all, but if you are catching us in the middle of the week, make sure to use the hashtag AOSAS. Send us your comments, your questions, and we will continue the conversation all week long, because we're not going to get to it all today. But starting off, state of the team.
They're in disarray right now.
The team's a mess. I would say, Mother May, she's giving everyone advice. The episode starts with advice. And it seems, since last week, the only person who's actually listening to her is Coulson. Coulson finally was like, okay, I have to step back, because he had his, Daisy's like my daughter, but he finally kind of took May's advice. And this whole episode, he's trying to kind of remind everyone of that. Yeah. But Lincoln, his bleeding heart for Daisy, and May puts him in his place, being like, yeah, we've known her longer. We all care about her a lot more than you do.
Yeah, so check yourself.
And then even with Mac, but Lincoln and Mac both don't listen.
No, of course not.
Team is...
Lincoln's full of angst. He's going to do what he wants because he's a bleeding heart trying to make a big gesture.
And Mac's a big teddy bear with a shotgun axe. So,
which he has
literally
failed to bring back out in the field.
And, you know, and as Daisy pointed out, he's kind of not done well as a big brother to his own brother. Ooh. That was mean.
That is definitely some low blows.
That was a super low blow, Daisy. Good job, writers. But so for him, he looks at all of them as his siblings, and he looks at them kind of like a big brother, and he's just a bleeding heart in that way.
And that's the thing that makes it so bittersweet to see the things that Mac has to go through. She pointed out something that was interesting, where, hey, you were a mechanic. I was a hacker, and now S.H.I.E.L.D. has molded us into what they needed. Not what we wanted to be, but what they needed.
Which isn't really much different than what the aliens are doing.
There you go, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
that's
well, no, I mean,
exactly
what you're talking about. Daisy first had this kind of conversation with Hive, where she was on one side of it, and then she's having it with Mac, and she's on the opposite side of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the influence of Hive on her is really apparent. kind of disturbing how that scene was, not just in how emotionally brutal she was towards Mac,
Right.
but just in the kind of brainwashed mentality. You see it just kind of her eyes were
Yeah.
full on drinking the Kool-Aid. You know?
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
But I mean, that takes us into what Hive's plan is, and it's this.
It's crazy.
We're all gonna be one big family. You know, it's not gonna be us versus them if we're all us. If we're all Inhumans. Mind you, this is very X-Men 1, Magneto.
Thank you.
We're gonna turn everyone into mutants.
Into mutants.
The Inhumans are mutants.
Right. I mean, give them the choice, because as we've learned, not everyone can be. But I guess if he's going to change their blood and change the DNA, like
Right.
with that mad scientist man, you know, then he's just going to force it on them. But if he was just like, here, everyone, take the pill. You want it? You don't want it? If you don't take it, you're going to die. It's like cake or death. Pick your favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I choose cake.
Well, we're all out of cake.
We're all out of cake. Oh.
Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, thank you for knowing what I was saying.
I know. I'm right there with you.
Oh, look at that.
But no, this plan, he's taking away that choice. This is
Yeah.
the debate that Skye and Lincoln had for a few episodes there of Daisy was saying it's a beautiful thing, Lincoln saying no, some people aren't going to want this. This was when we first learned that the absorbing man's blood could be like an inoculation,
Right.
Yeah.
a vaccine against turning into an Inhuman. So this has been a long running debate, and now we're at the extremes.
Mm-hmm.
We are forcing this on you, and even if you don't have the Inhuman gene, we're forcing this on you,
Exactly.
because then there's no us and them, right?
We're all just
It's
one big, peaceful, happy family.
of crazy superpowered creatures.
It's not a
Yeah.
cult of any kind.
No, not at all.
The cult of Squidward.
He fails to mention, not that it would matter since he's talking to a brainwashed drone at that point, but he fails
Right.
to mention that we'd be one big happy family that has no choice but to do what I say.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. So, no free will at all.
But isn't it better that way? Really?
Just being told what to do. Who likes making choices?
I don't. I like to be told what to do.
I would just like to point out, James now liked American beer, so
Oh,
he
yeah.
clearly didn't have any free will.
That's true. That's true.
Although he did have the caveat that it was free, so I guess I understand
Well.
that. Free beer is still free beer. So,
It's like,
Column
it's
A,
okay.
column B.
I'll deal with it.
so that was Hive's plan. We talked about this before, but then we had Lincoln's plan, if we can call that, where he's forcing the hand of Fitz and Simmons.
What are you doing, bro?
Just wanted to help.
Lincoln, come here. We're gonna talk. Bring it in. Shooting yourself up with experimental drugs, not a good idea on the best of days. When you have explosive EMP powers and the drug has been forewarned that it potentially could kill you, yeah, maybe let's rethink that. You know, I thought, letting a girlfriend borrow your car or letting a boyfriend giving him a key to your house was risky, but
You know.
This was just a little bit too far. And then his whole thing, as he's sitting there on the floor, slightly convulsing, I just wanted to help. It's like, I can tell that they just wanted to be like, but you're not. But you're not. It's like, literally.
When she walks up with the drill, he's like, wait, you needed that from you're going in my brain?
I
She's
totally-
like, yeah,
See-
if you would have asked questions.
I
Yeah.
totally thought she was playing him because A, we never see any bandage on his head,
Yeah.
but B, I would have loved that. Like, you know what? Yeah, we gotta drill in through your face, right through your eye. That's the only way
the
to
only
get
way.
it.
That's it.
And you know what? Totally would have believed her too.
I know.
Because Simmons doesn't mess around.
No.
She's not a bluffer.
Although I did, I hands down thought they should have been like, yeah, Lincoln, the only way this might work is if you take this drug and give us your bank account numbers and social security number.
Okay. That would have went.
Your mother's maiden name and,
The name of your first pet.
yeah, 3 previous addresses and where you went to high school. Because you know, he would have been like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah. And he obviously didn't know how to do it correctly. I mean, that just looked painful.
You saw he just
like,
jammed it in
there.
like, dude,
It's like,
he didn't look
bro.
for a vein or anything.
No,
he was like,
it doesn't matter. It's going to go in my system no matter how I do
He's
this.
seen Star Trek. He knows how it works. You just kind of
Yeah,
put
exactly.
it up to your
Yeah.
arm.
right.
No.
That makes sense.
Gosh.
And clearly it hurt because he
Never had blood taken.
destroyed that entire lab.
Right?
Oh man.
That helped. That helped.
Oh,
Training. At least, like, get one of the nurses to do it.
seriously.
So don't forget, use the hashtag AOSAS and let us know if you think Lincoln was right. Was it worth the risk? Yeah, I don't think we agree with him. You know what? About that whole
was so
situation,
dumb.
though, I really liked actually how mature Fitz and Simmons were. It's like, you are totally free to disagree with me. It's not gonna like
There's no problem with that.
And our relationship
fine.
is complete. It's like if I wanted someone who would constantly agree with me, I would have. What did she say? His head looked like a Brussels sprout or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's not
remember.
attractive.
No.
You know. But, like, then when she tells him, he's like, did you at least tell Coulson we might have a cure? She's like, no. It doesn't work. Sorry. And she walks out. Is it a bluff? Is she teaching him a lesson? Or is Lincoln, like, gonna die of an autoimmune disease?
That's right on the nose.
No, I don't think he necessarily was asking about himself, though. I think he was asking about did the vaccine kill the Hive spores in his blood sample?
So he can get better?
I think he will get better over time. It's not like you're going to let him go out in the field anyways. So.
Right. He's grounded.
Yeah, he's in
boy.
trouble. He was out past his curfew.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a thought.
No, I think he was at the question was more, is this something that can cure Daisy? Not, can I get out of bed?
Right.
Yeah, he's
I don't know.
selfish.
I don't know.
But anyways, moving along, more about Hive's plan. He calls in the bad boys who've been sleeping just out in stasis.
Thousands of years.
How would you like that to be your job? Okay. Thanks for finding these guys we can experiment on. Now we need you to sleep for 1,000 years, just in case everything goes to hell and they randomly decide to call you back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Do you think they know it's been 1,000 years? Have they just been sleeping?
I think when they woke up, they looked at their watch and was like, oh,
dang.
jeez.
Yeah, right?
And
Gotta
look at
wind
this
it.
guy. Like, look what they look like.
You saw them, right? Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what is
dear
it saying?
goodness. With the Blue Man Group, kind of. I mean, that's essentially what I'm seeing there. I never trust anyone that is a mute and plays drums. I don't. And then here they go, just showing up, all big, buff, and not speaking too much.
They're like Smurfs on steroids.
Smurfs on steroids. That's exactly
Right?
it. That's what I see.
What is that?
This is an announcement. This
that
is
the
breaking news right now. Every Marvel show has been canceled except the new spin-off Smurfs on Steroids.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
You heard it first here.
Is that what they look like in the comic?
Oh God, look at them.
Actually, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
they do.
the chin strap
Yeah.
thing he's got going on, the Papa Smurf chin strap.
Yeah.
That's not. But the Cree are just big, blue, nondescript.
Yeah.
I don't think I could take that seriously.
Well, and here's one of the things. In the comics, the Kree have been experimenting on themselves and doing genetic modifications for
yeah.
centuries.
Yeah.
They're at a point of, in the comics anyways, of biological stagnation, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And they actually bring the Inhumans back to try and kickstart their biology and their own evolution because they've tampered with it so much. So that's why they all look the same.
Oh.
Which is awkward.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I know, we're educational here.
I just had to ask because I'm just like, those dudes.
Oh, yeah, right?
Those dudes. But I do think it may have been in poor judgment for the one Inhuman who can now only make one duplicate of herself to go up against the big Kree by herself.
She's dead. Didn't she die?
I don't know. He killed
He
one.
killed. But is that the main one, or does the main one like hide in a tower?
Well,
with,
the main
like,
one was looking over to the other one and said, "Be proud of what we are," and then she died. But what about her?
And I'm confused
But then
on
she
her
went-
powers. Can she make endless. I thought she could only make a limited amount of copies.
That's what I thought. I thought it was 4.
Then that's a really bad power.
Yeah, because it's like she's run out of extra lives.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
No green mushrooms for her.
No. She's not, that 9th life is gone.
Yeah, right?
If we're wrong on that, let us know. But I've always been under the impression she could only make 4 copies, maybe 5.
Maybe just at a time, and then they all have to die, and then they can, and she can
generate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's not very clear.
Let us know if you've got clarification on that. But before we go to break. Yeah, already. But we have an announcement for next week's show.
Oh, man.
And this
Guys, get ready.
Awesome.
Get ready. Oh my gosh, I can't even get comfortable.
A few weeks ago, we had probably one of the greatest shows we've ever had with Bethany Joy Lenz on, paying us a visit here in the studio.
So awesome. She was amazing.
Next week, someone else is paying us a visit. One General Glenn Talbot, played by the outstanding actor Adrian Pasdar.
Whoop, whoop.
Many of you may know him from Heroes. He played Nathan Petrelli.
The Petrellis.
But he will be joining us in studio, so get your questions ready. Send us everything throughout the week because we want to be compiling questions.
Get them together.
Ask specifically about the show, what it's like to be playing General Glenn Talbot, anything like that, what he knows, what he doesn't know, the secrets, obviously.
What he can tell us, what he
we
can't.
don't know what happens in the next
him.
episode, but this is very exciting. He is an outstanding actor, and we are going to be picking his brain about everything that he's got to do with the show and everything he's got else going on in his world. Yeah. So make sure to set a reminder because that show you will not want to miss. I mean, not that you want to miss any of it.
I mean,
right, come on, right. But anyways, we're going to be back with your Twitter questions and questions from the YouTube chat. So get those to Sarah right now, and we will be right back.
I'm so excited.
I know, right? Like, it's
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
How did we not figure that out?
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
How did you get here? No. Look at me, I'm dancing. You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
He was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is like something.
and we're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. So come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's so good.
You can't count anything out.
Oh.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv,
always
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
And we are back, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us and for joining us if you're catching us midweek. Don't forget to use that hashtag AOSAS, and we are going to have the conversation going all week. And remember, get us those questions for Adrian.
Oh my gosh.
So excited.
So exciting.
But
I can't. I'm just going to sit here staring at his face and just not be able to talk.
Oh, no.
No, I won't. I'll be fine.
That'll be creepy.
that would be super weird.
No.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, but we're throwing it to Twitter. Daniel, what do we have in Twitter this week?
All right. Urban Noise, that's Noize. I love it. Says, let's not forget, the dead body of Cree was kept at the S.H.I.E.L.D. base once. Let's not forget that that is very true.
That is true.
Now, I mean, but they immediately referenced referenced it at the end by saying, I have Cree blood inside of me, so
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah,
Right,
so
because they used it to heal her.
To bring her back, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing they did with Coulson as well, but hers on a different level.
Yeah.
Which-
he was like brain.
That
she was body.
raised a question in my mind. Would Coulson have gone through Terragenesis at the end of season 2? Was it the end of season 2?
See, that's what I was
when
wondering.
Mac cut off his hand? Because he was solidifying.
Right.
He had the Cree blood. Now, it doesn't necessarily give him the Inhuman gene.
No.
No.
I
don't know.
I think
I
for
don't know.
TV we have to say no.
Yeah, for
because-
TV, I have to say no.
Yeah.
Because Coulson, like, it's
Besides,
kind
you
of
want to
great
know what? My
What?
theory of the week. I don't want him to be Inhuman anyways. He's going to be the U.S. agent.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What does
no
that mean?
way.
U.S. agent
that
was
mean?
a character in the comics that was
Okay.
created by the Commission on Superhuman Affairs, not unlike a group that was set up for the Civil War Registration Act.
Yeah.
But he was basically a Captain America lookalike, but his costume was black, and
Oh.
he was the first character before Captain America to use the energy shield.
Yeah.
Other characters had energy
Oh,
shields
you're right.
of certain
He did
kinds.
do that
but
last
he
week,
had,
right?
and Coulson
Yeah.
has
Last
used
week.
that.
I watched it.
Right? See? I watched it.
I'm just saying, Coulson, U.S. agent, Clark Gregg, let me know if I'm right. Your silence means I am. Got it.
Exactly, thanks.
Your silence means I'm correct.
That's the #1 rule of the internet. If you don't,
If you don't respond.
if you don't tell me
yeah,
I'm
right.
wrong, then that means I'm right.
Yeah, if you don't clap back, then I know nothing's
I
happening.
mean, duh.
Pure, perfect logic.
Makes sense.
You know?
What else do we got?
So,
People like that in the chat, by the way. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
see? All right, so that cool black nerd, no, it's not me.
The one and
Sorry.
only.
So, okay, all right, fine. No, that cool black nerd says, we know what's coming. You're gonna have to get Lash.
Yeah.
We've been saying this for a while.
Come on, we've been saying this for a
How are we
while.
10 steps ahead of the game
Seriously.
right now?
Right.
If we're wrong, I'm going to be so shocked.
If we are wrong, I am gonna be heavily upset.
Because
Right?
they threw a lot of, well, not a lot. They threw some ordnance at Hive tonight. I'm a little confused. Mac made a point of saying that each of them had enough splinter bombs to essentially level the town.
Yes.
Right.
So why didn't they just be like, splinter bombs, and throw like 15 into the room and then run?
A run? That
Yeah.
would've been it.
I mean,
They just wanted to go for the big one.
Well, they
What
did
is that
hit
called?
it.
The
I mean,
bazooka?
seriously.
It was like a rocket?
right.
That thing, a rocket launcher to the shoulder.
And he was just like, bring it back to 80s.
seriously,
That's
he was
fine.
like,
although my question is, didn't Fitz kill Will with a flare gun?
oh, jeez.
On
oh my gosh.
I'm blanking on the name of the planet, but when they were there before we left, Fitz shot Will with a flare gun, and
And
that
he
burned
did.
them all up.
Yeah, but
So-
in a rocket launcher, well, maybe because when
Maybe
he
it wasn't
was,
as strong.
yeah, he wasn't
That could be.
holding
He
on to
hadn't
that body
fed,
as long.
because Ward,
Exactly.
Squidward has fed on
Yes.
the people, so he's
Yes.
gained the strength and able to do the
Yeah, and
regeneration
turkey
cure
legs.
or whatever
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That the bacon
all
wrap
those
turkey legs,
turkey
the
legs,
Right.
shoot wrap.
Like we
That's,
did.
you do enough of those, you
Yeah.
know, it's like a workout. You're like, protein.
You know, I took a missile to the shoulder one time after I'd eaten some turkey legs.
Okay, see,
You know,
that makes sense.
just to prove I could.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what you do.
Because that's what you do.
Because once it happened, May was like, "Oh, I'm out." That was it.
Yeah.
I was like, boom.
And we run. And we
I was
run.
fairly
Run,
certain.
girl,
though-
run.
Where's Mac? Let's find him.
I was
Oh,
fairly certain
snap.
Coulson's advice was because we're gonna bomb the hell out of that place
Oh, yeah.
if you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
fail.
Oh yeah.
Instead, it was, well, crap, that didn't work. Let's get out of here.
Well, I
it,
really
was very much the Monty Python, run away.
Yeah, exactly.
run away.
Because I mean, they brought in the bazooka. They were like SUM, which is straight up murder. That's what they thought they were gonna do. They were like, let's SUM him, and then after that, it was like, oh, it didn't happen. Let's go now. It's time to leave. And that's
Out.
exactly
We're
what
out.
happened. I'm just saying.
Amazing.
Last tweet.
Wow.
Brighttail said, "I hate to say it, but I am really hoping Daisy is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who dies. No one deserves to die sacrificing themselves for her."
Man,
Wow.
he's throwing some
Sassy.
shade her
Wow.
way.
Just getting
Wow, I mean, seriously,
angry.
man, that was like, I got my own umbrella to bring the shade. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean-
like, jeez.
Okay,
A lot of shade in that tweet.
the way she treats Mac, if that had actually
yeah.
been Daisy, that's cool. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but the question is, how in control is she? How much of her is still there? Because I feel like this is a common theme when you have in any kind of genre type show where someone's taken over, they always use their personal connections with people against. That's like because they can dig deep in that way.
Exactly.
But yeah, dang man, I don't know. Here's the thing: Daisy and Quake is such an important character in the comics. I don't see anyone else leading the Secret Warriors. I get why you're saying that, but you'd feel bad if, like, right at the last minute, she comes to and she's like, "No, I'm sorry, guys, that wasn't me."
See, the thing is, they're hinting.
Explosion.
They're hinting, hey, someone's going to die. Someone's going to die.
Yeah.
You brought up something very interesting, which is Lincoln and his whole autoimmune deficiency thing. Maybe Lincoln's going to be the guy that dies.
He's going to do the noble sacrifice?
Yes, exactly.
Like
he'll die.
He's been wanting, I was going to say dying, but that's just ridiculous. He's been wanting to do that forever. He's like wanting to lead the charge. He wants to do the ultimate sacrifice. So that, I get behind that.
There you go. I can get behind it too.
I don't think I'd be sad
if
if Lincoln was gone. Luke Mitchell, I like you, but your character.
I don't know.
As much as I love brooding angst, and I've got a soft spot for it.
I love when they have him in the field and actually he gets to use his powers because he gets to use them in very cool ways.
Yeah.
The electric whip and all this stuff. But I do see him, and they are kind of teasing that noble sacrifice. That whole initial debate about whether to use it or not. Doesn't Simmons call it these? These grand acts
gestures.
of grand gestures,
Yeah.
And Fitz is like, dang,
right every time.
Jump through a portal to another galaxy for you. What?
Seriously,
apparently grand gestures don't mean anything. Oh wait,
nothing
no,
for you.
Oh, his poor puppy face.
We're already a thing.
When
It's cool.
she said that.
What's going on in the chat?
Oh man. FYI, Coulson tweeted and said, "You're right."
Thank you. Thank you, Coulson.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
So the big stuff going on in the chat room right now has a lot to do with Hive. So we've got, sorry, I gotta find where it went. Do you guys think that, this is from Danny Mayers. Do you guys think that Ward will be cleansed of Hive and live on and be able to undo everything that was done? And maybe rejoin the Force?
That's a good question, and the answer is no.
No.
The answer is no.
No.
Here's the thing.
That's it.
Even if they were able to cleanse Hive from him, there's no way he's rejoining the Force. Everyone on this team, even Daisy, when she was not mind controlled, wants him dead.
Yeah.
They want to kill him. I mean, Coulson got to, straight up murder him, personally.
Coulson did SUM.
I mean, Simmons even said, I got to shoot him 3 times. It felt really good.
Yeah, no one wants him around.
Nobody wants him back on the team. It's not going to be that the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
No.
Because thanks to Hive, all the leaders of Hydra are dead.
He did the one thing.
Hive did the one thing S.H.I.E.L.D. couldn't do. Destroyed Hydra.
And do you think that once Hive is dead, that what happens to everyone that's been infected? Do they just kind of go back to normal? Do they die? Is it kind of like, in certain lores, if you kill the person that made them, they all die?
They all die, I know, but they are spores, so I wonder if they can kind of be self-sustaining spores and just continue on with Hive. Even if he's dead there, if they just all, okay, well, now Hive's living on little bits and pieces. He's inside of all of us.
Whoa.
He's inside.
Just a
lives
little
on.
bit,
There's a part of me in you.
Little bit of a Hive inside of all of us, isn't there?
Yeah.
One of those.
Wow. So, on that note, the one thing I want to say before we go, because we got the teaser for next week. I'm not going to talk really about next week, but what we saw, and this just got me to freak out, Hellfire gets his chain.
Oh, yeah.
Hellfire gets his freaking chain. This is the chain that actually his powers normally come from.
Exactly.
But we see him using it, and I'm just like, thank you.
He whips it back, the slow motion, you start to see it just charge up. I was like, yes!
We started with the shotgun axe, and now we've moved into this.
We moved into fire chain.
We're nerds for comic accurate weaponry.
See, I got excited because I just thought it was really cool. And
Yeah,
then
it
these
is.
guys are like, it's from this. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, well, that makes it even better.
But see, well, he kind of, in my eyes, can replace Lincoln a little bit. He's got the kinetic energy. He can do this thing with the
Instead
with
of
the
electricity,
chain
the kinetic
instead of
energy.
his electric thing. It's-
Well, it would be a nice kind of switcheroo. I'm going to use that awesome phrase
yeah.
from the comics, because in the comics he's on the team, then goes bad.
Oh,
and
yeah,
here
that's
he could be
right.
bad, then goes
It's on the
good.
team.
Yeah.
They like to
I like
reform
that.
people. Sometimes it sticks. Sometimes
What do you
it
guys
doesn't.
think? Give us. Okay, here's what I want to know. After this week's episode, who's going to die?
Oh.
Will Ward be cleansed and just be still a bad guy? And when it's all said and done, is it possible that James switches sides? Yeah.
Sounds
Use
like
that hashtag AOSAS.
A lot of polls.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me here again.
Always.
Like always, I am joined with Daniel Jerome, Sarah Carey. Make sure to hit up their Twitter, follow them, follow me. You can also find them at that hashtag show and me at Good Nerd Bad Nerd.
Boom.
And don't forget to click that subscribe button, because then you'll be able to get all the notifications about when we're having our next show with Adrian Pasdar. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that beautiful man.
Look at that man, that fun mustache.
Who doesn't like a guy in uniform, right?
Right? Exactly.
I know I do.
Until next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay classy.
Bye. Stay classy.
Stay classy.